In this demonstration, we are going to demo how we can create test plan, test suites and test cases, and then connect these to the requirements specification. As you would recall, in the previous demo we had shown how we can use testlink to create requirement specification, and in this particular demo we are going to show how we can use test cases and connect them to the requirement specification so that we are ensured that there is proper test case coverage in the software project. So the first thing is to log in. In the previous demo we had shown that user 3 was going to be a leader in for this particular project, so that's why we are going to log in as user 3, and this is the test project 4 that was created. And now what we are going to do is we are going to create a test plan first. So we'll create this test plan. Let's call this a test plan 1 and a comment. And then we go back to home. So we can see that there are additional links over here. Once a test plan has been created, we'll go into detail into these links later on. Now the next thing that has to be done is that we click on specifications, and here we'll click on test project 4 and then create a new child test suite. We can also import it, but for the present demo purposes we are going to create it. And the test suite name, let's put it at test suite 1. And we can also use keywords, but we'll talk about this later in detail. So the next thing is to create the test suite, and once the test suite has been created we can import the test cases. So we can also create the test cases by hand, but in this particular case we are going to import the test cases using an Excel document. So this is how we have imported the different test cases. For example, it says over here that user should be able to log in, and the steps are enter username and password and click on login. Now we have to connect this to the requirement specifications. So the best way to do this is to open another browser tab, and then we can click on assign requirements, and now we see that this is the test case, which is enter username and password, and here we can look at the requirements. So let's say this is the particular requirement which says login, and we know that since this test case says enter username and password and click on login, so this must be connected to the requirement specification which is titled as login. So we just click over here, and this is how we assign. So now what we can do is we can go to home, go back to specifications, and if we see TC001, we'll see that the requirement has now been connected to this particular test case. We can click on the requirement also, and we can see that this requirement is now we can read this requirement in detail, and the test case associated with this is written over here. And this is how we connect the test cases to the requirement specification, and this concludes this part of the demo.